and welcome to Sheila Lives Out Loud. My name is Sheila Musyoka. Thank you for finding this channel. Please click subscribe and hit notifications. I do my best to make sure that there's a new episode out every Monday. So go on, join me, walk with me, and let's have a happily ever after. Well, we can work on it. It's between you and I. This happily ever after is what we decide to make it, and I'm just thrilled that you decide to walk with me, and I'm truly grateful for that. And if you see something on this episode or in previous episodes that's meant something to you, please give me feedback. It's always wonderful to hear from you. So go on, get in touch, tell me something in the comment section below. And in today's episode, I want us to walk through an incredible initiative that I got to find out about 3 years ago. It's been 3 years in the making. I've been part of that story. I've been part of that journey as it unfolds, and it gives me such great pleasure to share with you what Bomoa Ukuta means. 3 years ago, I was contacted by the German Embassy in Nairobi about a competition using cell phones. And this was a call out to any filmmaker, budding filmmakers, established filmmakers, to try and come up with stories using a cell phone. And the stories would be about 90 seconds in length. And in that 90 seconds, you've got to establish a story, a plot, a twist, and most importantly, tell us about the walls that you want to break down. It's an initiative that celebrates the reunification of Germany. And in this episode, you get to find out all things Bomoa Ukuta. So let's live out loud with Bomoa Ukuta next.
The Bomoa Ukuta program this year, we really want to establish it as one of the icon activities that we do every year on the occasion of the fall of our wall. So just wherever there's a wall, a mental wall, a real wall, a physical wall, a wall that is set by the society, by conventions, you know, whatever you can think of. So this is the theme behind it. And of course, the young people are very creative to interpret it in their way to say, okay, I can do this.
Watoto wa siku hizi wamekuwa wavivu sana. Wakati wetu hatuko hivi, ati depression.
So it's about young people to test their talent, to be creative, to turn their ideas and visions into pictures that will then inspire others.
Kenya and Germany have something in common with the Bomoa Ukuta topic, because we had an historic event where we actually had a real wall that was separating Germany east and west, and that was torn down 32 years ago. And our country was reunified 30 years ago. And the question is, how is this topic still relevant today? And I think it is very much in Germany because, of course, there still are some differences between East and West, the old East and West, but there are many differences that still persist in society. And I think it's the same in Kenya. So I think this is a topic that not just Germany and Kenya, but probably also other countries can get around and think about, you know, what kind of walls still separate us and how can we tear them down.
These stories allowed us to store information and had us captivated in such a different way.
For my submission, I think Bomoa Ukuta, firstly, is conquering my mind and to set out on goals that I'd planned and to execute them, at least to the best of my potential. Secondly, I feel that as a career path, I'm going to tell stories to Kenya, and that too, I think, on my side is another plus, because the stories of Kenya need to be told, and people need to see the good things and the bad things that exist in our country so that we can learn from them.
This Bomoa Ukuta Masterclass is about you guys, because you are the top 10 of the Bomoa Ukuta 2021 participants. We've had it twice before, since 2019. Sammy here is our veteran, Bomoa Ukuta veteran. He's participated in every contest since 2019.
My name is Sam Kengode. For this year, my submission was titled Parenting Equals Presence, because the wall in this instance was the parenting, and how as a first-time parent you can come up against a wall of responsibility and the world is just changing.
If I could see the great person that this baby would become, and not just the tiny baby she is now, it stops being a burden of frustration.
The entries this year were really socially conscious. They were relevant to topical issues that are often not given enough attention.
Bomoa Ukuta Initiative is unique, is different, and it's up to date.
I think the Bomoa Ukuta is a very good initiative that empowers young people who have interest in filmmaking and gives them the necessary skills to enable them push on their careers.
Bomoa Ukuta Challenge is a great platform for young creatives and also any other creative around because it challenges your creativity.
It was actually a good challenge for us as filmmakers, and for me, I've learned a lot.
I felt better knowing that there's a platform where I can express myself.
Bomoa Ukuta is a great initiative, and the German Embassy should not stop doing it. They should actually continue doing it so that it opens like a broad door for young filmmakers.
East and I will definitely participate in the next Bomoa Ukuta Initiative, and we're already thinking about scripts to do.
To all the ladies, watch out for the Bomoa Ukuta challenges that will be taking place. It happens yearly. Watch out for the next one. If you missed out on this one, there's still time to try again next year.
My name is Rico Warui. I'm a photographer and filmmaker based in Nakuru. Aside from photography and conventional filmmaking, I have a deep passion for mobile content creation. So we cannot discount the importance of mobile content creation. I don't think phones are about to replace DSLRs or mirrorless or cinema cameras anytime soon, but phones have found their place. They have a time and a place. I watched some of your movies and I liked how some of you used lightings, like some of you are shooting in tunnels, you are using natural framing and the like. And what I would say is right now, if you don't have any supplemental lighting, the first thing you can use is natural light. So if we're using phones, they have a limitation. The sensor size of phones means that it can't gather too much light. So in most cases, when we're using a phone, what we want to do is have the subject facing the light source, unless it's a creative choice. If you're shooting indoors, try and shoot near a window. Soft light is more flattering. When you have a harsh light source, but again, it can be a creative choice. I can use a hard light source, like one of you had an interrogation scene, and you purposefully used a hard light. So, tell me. The entries this year were really socially conscious. They were relevant to topical issues that are often not given enough attention. So I think it signified that the filmmakers are in touch with issues affecting society.
My name is Linda Kehara. My film was titled Time Is Up. So it's a story on climate change. So that was the wall that I felt that we needed to Bomoa.
The first thing you want to do is create a context for the story you're telling. So there are these things we call estabs or establishing shots. Even in movies, go watch movies. The opening shots mostly are wide shots. It's either a crane shot, a drone shot of a city, or a time lapse or something, yeah? Because that sets the tone. You're telling someone, okay, whatever is about to unfold will unfold in this space. Then after that, I would go to a medium. Then I would now do close-up shots and detail shots. So my rule of thumb normally is hold every shot for at least 10 seconds. Then let your movements be motivated. Only pan if you need to. Only track and do walking shots if they're integral to the story. Then I'll give you a tip on stabilizing footage if you don't have a gimbal or a tripod. If you're holding your phone, most people will film like this. You move your hands. Don't move your hands. Move your waist. And trust me, you will see a huge difference. Because your hands shake a lot. When you're out here, they shake a lot. And most people do that. Have you seen a difference? Yeah, so tuck, move with your waist. Then as far as composition goes, I'll also talk about aspect ratio. Aspect ratio means what? Either you're shooting vertical or horizontal, or if you're shooting horizontal, are you shooting 16:9, 21:9, 1:1? So aspect ratio, the first rule, please don't mix.
This marks a starting point for I as a person, and I can say for the people that were here too. We were indoctrinated, or rather, we were introduced to the filmmaking world by professionals.
I also got to get an idea of composing my videos, having a great composition.
From the question and answer session, I was able to tell that the students were engaged. They got to learn a lot of new things. They were challenged, and I think their minds were broadened. And I think they live here now with a greater passion for content creation.
My name is Musyoka, and I'm a music entrepreneur, music producer, sound engineer, and overall sound guy. Sound is what portrays the emotional aspect of pictures. Without sound, you cannot tell what's happening on screen. We usually categorize sound into either diegetic or non-diegetic sound. Diegetic sound is the sound that emanates from the subject that's on the scene. So for example, if somebody is talking and you can clearly hear them and see them talking, that's what we call diegetic sound. Non-diegetic sound is anything else outside the subject on focus. So you can hear the birds, those things flying on the sides. Those are what we call non-diegetic sound. So it's very important to distinguish this, especially when it comes to the sound editing bit, because you have to know what to pay attention to and how to treat your sound when it comes to terms of layering. I think the Bomoa Ukuta is a very good initiative that empowers young people who have interest in filmmaking and gives them the necessary skills to enable them push on their career. So the common equipment that you'll find in a location recordist kit, you have a mixer. You know what a mixer does. Yeah, so a mixer receives multiple channels and mixes them down into either 2 subgroups, 2 masters, or whatever matrix you want to send to. Then you have a microphone. You can use a boom, or like right now we are using a lav. This is called a lav mic. Then you have a recorder, but nowadays where technology has gone, you can record directly onto your phone. Of course, these things have their own limitations. When it comes to sound quality, the boom mic is always the best. Nothing can beat a boom mic. But again, convenience. Can you imagine trying to shoot a show like Amazing Race with a boom mic? It will never work, yeah? Given the resurgence of digital technology, it has enabled young people to have access to tools that can enable them to tell their stories in their own unique ways, that are unique to their experiences and unique to their locations and the skill level that they are at, which was unheard of a couple of years back.
Oral traditions have been the vessel of preservation of our history over a long period of time.
Basically, if you want the sound to be the best, you'll need to do an audio post mix. Then definitely you have music, which is the emotional component of sound. In communities, where can you get music? Definitely when you're starting, hautakuwa na do ya kulipa msee akukompose music, but kuna sites kama Epidemic Sound, kuna Audio Networks, kuna Extreme Sound, royalty-free music you can use. But you see, in those developed nations, they already had revenue collection system. It's only in Kenya where you could use and you're not caught, because that song must be registered in a database somewhere. You will not receive the payments from the public performance of a royalty-free song. The person who wrote it is hoping that people like that song and 1 million people use it. It's a gamble. So it's the same concept Epidemic Sound does.
My takeaway from the masterclass has been mostly about sound, how you can use sound to breathe life into your film, into your visuals, and also to understand in detail the copyright laws.
I believe I got to tell them things that have been maybe challenging them in their process of filmmaking, and how to tackle some of, especially the music part of things, the licensing kind of stuff, and where they can get the right resources to enable them do their projects.
My name is Halima Osman. I am a creative producer and a senior video editor at NTV. So editing basically is just a process of organizing, selecting the best of the best picture, the best audio. You have to tell a story, a coherent story in your editing. You have to get everything right before you come here to edit. Whatever editing software you are using, it does not matter. But try and learn all the softwares, all that you can come across. I edited using my phone, and it's because of Bomoa Ukuta Challenge. Bomoa Ukuta Initiative is unique, is different, and it's up to date. It's because guys are just using simply their phone to edit, unlike the traditional way of editing using a laptop. This one is completely different and unique. It's a challenge that I've never even seen before. Here are some techniques of editing. Basically, I'll start with hard cut. Hard cut is basically a standard cut. No flares, no nothing, no transitions. The second one is a jump cut. Jump cut is it's a bit destructive. Jump cut can, however, be useful, very useful in your, and somebody here has used jump cut in their filming. Well done for using it, because you've used it well.
Even after changing and feeding, you have no idea why they are crying, and your attempts at helping them is seeming to fuel the cry even more.
For this year's submission, the guys, they did an outstanding and a phenomenal job, since it's their, some of them it's their first time, some of them it's their third time, the way I understand, and the creativity is top-notch.
If you know, you know.
Match cut. Match cut. Match cut, it's create this creative transition. And match cut, don't confuse it with action cut. Action cut is the one that you're cutting between the action. You have to finish the action. If you don't finish the action when you're editing, that is when now you'll have those two jump cuts. So you have to make sure you finished the action from one shot to the next. Transition is also a technique of editing. Don't overuse transition. If you don't know where to use your transition, please leave it. I've teach you how to do a transition in your shots. I've had a chance to interact with the young people and to impact at least some knowledge to them. And I'm hoping they've learned something out of what I've taught them.
In capturing the video, the sound, the editing, all round, I think I feel like I have more information to tell stories in a better perspective.
It was quite insightful, knowing the nitty-gritties that you actually need when it comes to doing film and mastering sound, and also editing, and how to, for example, charge, how you do your cuts.
I expect to see a lot from them. It never stops here. I know this is their first or their second or their third time to participate in such a challenge, but there are bigger things that are waiting for you guys out there. So make sure that you get ready for it, and that is why we were holding this masterclass for you guys.
And there you have it, an incredible third cycle of Bomoa Ukuta. It's been 3 years in the running, and we look forward to the next. A very big asante sana, vielen Dank to the German Embassy Nairobi for making this happen. The prizes are excellent, the participants were excited, and there was lots to learn, and the learning continues. If you missed out this year, keep your eye on the German Embassy social media handles and be sure to look out for the call out. And when it's up, make sure you already have your plan in place for great prizes to win, and even better, an opportunity to tell your story and to break down your walls. Asante sana once again to the German Embassy, to all the participants and finalists. Congratulations to the winner, and thanks to you for watching this episode. Please share it with somebody you know needs to watch this, especially somebody who's keen on filming things and wants to get into production. Please share it and drop a comment in the comment section below. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Until then, live out loud in all that you do. Bye for now.